Good morning everybody, I hope everybody's well and welcome to Safari TV. My name's Tara, I'm going to be your guide this morning, and joining me on the Gunda we have Sebastian behind the camera, and in Final Control we have Mark. So if you'd like to ask any questions, send them through to finalcontrol@safari.tv, and any questions that come through I'll be able to answer live on air. Thought I'd turn my radio down. But just thought we'd just start with this beautiful marula tree behind me here. Unfortunately, it seems like there's not many animals out here on quarantine. We did try and drive up a little bit towards Gallego Shortcut, and we found there was rhino tracks, and just as I picked up the rhino tracks, Mark said there was a rhino down at the dam. So we're going to see if we can try and head down there and catch up with him, and see if we can maybe head around towards the hyena den. Somebody did ask yesterday, I think, to see if we can go around and see if she's still there with the pups. Somebody did go back, but I thought we would just give it a go again and see if there is any signs of the hyenas. But if anything's picked up, then we'll see if we can get there as well. See if there's any tracks around of the lions or the leopards or elephants. It'd be nice to catch up with some elephants this morning, I think. Let's see how we go. The marula tree, obviously one of the favourite resting points, the resting spots of the leopards. You can see the branch is very horizontal. That's why it makes quite a nice spot for them. Quite often dragging their kills into these trees. And also just in the winter time you can see the ends of the branches are quite blunt. And that's a nice way of actually distinguishing the marula from other trees. And also if you have a look at the bark, looks like someone's hit a golf ball at the bark and the circles are coming off. Oh, I thought you were with me then. They have been fixing the wall at Gowrie Dam. There was a lot of soil on there yesterday morning, but it looks like they have actually completed, so we should be able to drive over it. There's a steenbok just here on the left. Have a quick look at it before it runs away. Oh. Camera shy this morning. As soon as the camera turned around, gone. Oh, there's the starling. Oh, I wonder if we can just have a quick look at the starling. It's just displaying. I wonder if it's going to try and display again. Yeah, there's the two. Just in the tree here. Yeah, virtual starling. They're actually throwing their head back and opening their wings. I'm done. I heard the starlings starting to call outside my bedroom window this morning. We've got quite a lot of rays coming through. I do want to head down to the dam because apparently Mark was saying the rhino looks a little bit confused about what's going on with the wall, with all the work that's happening. You see it's a little bit overcast here at Djuma Game Reserve this morning. A few of the sun's rays shining through. We're going to be seeing a lot more bird displays, courtship displays as we're going into spring. And quite often these elaborate Just having a look at those. Another starling there, but he's not fine. Oh. As I was saying, a lot of the elaborate courtship displays, are you going to stay put? Nope. Actually, our behaviours that the bird would normally have done, they get exaggerated over time. So that's why they look like they're going into a preening mode, and then all of a sudden they'll lift their head, and especially if you think about cranes, they sort of bend their neck around and then they lift their heads up. And so it's over time, it's obviously trying to get the attention of the female, and with cranes and with other birds that are monogamous and they mate for life, then it's to strengthen the bonds between the pairs. And so they get exaggerated, these behaviours, so eventually you get what looks like it's dancing. Let's see if we can catch up with this rhino. Good morning, stations. Can I also join you in the Incombi?
There is model loaded to the south from the Gem 1. I don't know if you want to go around that.
Copy, confirm towards Central Road.
Towards Trinidad.
Okay, copy. Are you going to be following up on him?
Negative, you will come to the... Yeah, you can still see him from this side, but yeah, his mobile is loaded towards the road. Yeah, he should go around.
Okay, copy. Aha. He's saying he's actually coming through
Good
here.
morning, mobile station, Bulletin update.
Yeah. We're going to see if we can...
Can I join you there?
So I think he's actually taking this game path that runs through here. And he said he's coming out somewhere on the other side there. But we shall leave Hexham until he is. It looks like he's doing some bird watching or something. Can you see? Oh, there he is, yeah. Standing by?
You got him that time?
Affirmative, thanks. Here he comes.
Morning all stations, Johnny Mobile.
Good morning, Johnny. Welcome back. Or should I say, it's great to see you. Been on leave. But I've still got an Incombi here by Gary Dam, Johnny Mobile towards Twin Dam Road.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. Yeah. This is one Gareth. The signal Gareth point will give us the out.
Affirmative?
Thank you very much, lab.
Yeah, I'm just going to see where he's going to decide to go, because I actually wanted to go as well. Carry on. Oh, I think he's going to take his usual route. Rhino's... Oh, good morning. They're very, very routine animals, and I think he probably would have come along the down wall, but with the work that's been done, he was a bit wary of crossing the wall because there has been new soil put down. It would have smelt a little bit funny, a little bit strange, obviously with all the activity from the people there as well. And as I say, they're very routine, and if something changes, they're not a great lover of it, so it'll probably take him a couple of times coming up to the down wall before he decides to actually cross over it. I think this is the bull that we usually see, the territorial bull. That's why he's on his own, he's marking his territory. He slipped down a gear there. There you go, he's on his normal path. Remember, we usually get tracks leading up this road. So he's on his normal route. He's probably going to cross over Quarantine, basically where he comes out to the end of this road, cross over towards the drainage line. And as I say, they take these particular routes. Hi Glynis. Phyllis, sorry. Welcome on board this morning. Phyllis wanting to know, do rhinos vocalise at all? Let's see what he's doing there. I wonder if he's actually found a log or something there that he's just shaping his horn a little bit. Oh, he's actually marking his territory there. So it actually looked like he was scraping that bottom part of his horn on something. Could have been that he was smelling the area or disturbing the area so that the scent would be spread a little bit better. But first time I've seen them do that before they've actually scented. Quite curious. I think there was actually something there. But for this wanting to know, do they vocalise and how do they communicate with each other? And they do vocalise. But there's a few sounds, but you obviously don't tend to hear them until there are actually rhinos there. They don't really have the ability to communicate over long distances like the elephants. As I say, we wouldn't really hear a vocalisation from this rhino unless he was really unhappy with us. If he was really unhappy, then you'd get him to turn towards us, jumping around a little bit, and you might get him snorting. You may get him bellowing, but yeah, you wouldn't really get it too much. It'd be more the movement and say the warning charge more than anything if he was upset with us. But otherwise, there'd be no reason for him to make a vocalization towards us. But if a rhino meets another rhino, they kind of do this heavy breathing. It's kind of a Jennifer, I'm just trying to have a look. You're saying it looks like there's something on his back. I think it's just darker bits of mud, that's all. I'll see if I can see what you're talking about. But Phyllis, as I say, there's the heavy breathing. So As I say, I've seen it as a greeting, and it's a slightly different tone when they kind of greet each other, and it's almost as if to say, hey, I'm here. So it's kind of but if they're not happy with each other, then there's a lot more emphasis on it, so like kind of thing. And if they're really unhappy, if you've got males fighting, or even a female telling a male to back off, then it would be quite a deep rumble. Standing by?
Got my dash. On quarantine.
Oh, awesome. Can I join you?
More than welcome. They are running.
Which direction? Copy. I'm going to come and join you. Apparently the wild dogs have just come onto quarantine. They said they're running north. Sorry, Mr. Rhino, but we don't get a chance to see these wild dogs. I confirm if I clamber onto quarantine from where the Incombi was, I'm going to see them.
But they are running. You need to hurry up.
Okay, apparently I need to hurry up. I wouldn't normally, but hey, we've got to see this. Apparently they're running. Yo. No, don't die me now, Gunda. Don't die. No. No, you can't do this. What a time to die. Come on. No. And here comes the rhino. Come on. Work with me, Gunda. Come on. Don't die. Don't die. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, come on. Have you still got visual? Oh, there they are, there they are. I wonder why, that's why we're not seeing any animals around here. Looks like there's just two at the moment. I don't want to scare them off. I'm going to see if we can go around this side here. Going to try and see if we can keep up with them. They say they can cover so much distance. You can see they're going on to Philemon's dip. They're actually using the road still. So it looks like there's just two so far. There may be the rest of the pack up ahead. There is a pack of 4 that are fairly close to us. Wow, this is awesome, everybody. First time we can film them live in 3D. I say, with all the excitement, we've really got to be careful, as I say, not to push them and not to obviously get too close and move too quickly around them. Hopefully we can stay with them. Say I'm not able to get too close at the moment, So I'm just trying to take the opportunity to stop and have a look at them, at least as we do have them. You can see that their nose is going to the ground. I think they're picking up the trail of something. And try and move forward again, Sebastian. So exciting. We don't see wild dog very often, but we saw the last time I saw them I was directing, and I think Patrick was on drive, Mark was on camera. They are looking at something. See, ears or both pointing towards the same direction. He's saying that putting the nose to the ground, they are picking up on something, whether it's the other pack members or whether it's something that they're following to eat. Okay, I'm going to move forward again. I'm going to try and stay with them as much as possible, as long as possible. Obviously, wild dog, a lot of people will be quite interested in as well. And hopefully yeah, it'd be nice to see if they will stop somewhere so we can get a really nice look at them. Otherwise known as painted dogs, you can see all the markings on them, and each dog has a different pattern, so you can actually identify dogs individually. I'm going to move again. Wow, this is so awesome. This is the first time since I've been here to see wild dogs live here in Juma Game Reserve and in 3D. We're going to hopefully do a 3D diary with them. I say, guys, the reason why we are so far back is so that we can stay with them, that we're not going to chase them, so they don't feel pressured. As I say, I will try and stop as much as possible so we can get a nice close-up of them. See, picking up the scents all the time. The noses are so sensitive, as you probably know from having pet dogs. And they are closely related to dogs. They are obviously we're not really able to domesticate them too well. A long time ago. That's where, well, the Wolves is where the domestic dog came from. you can hear me a little bit better now. There was some impala to the right here. They don't seem to be too bothered about the impala. Didn't even see them really looking off this side, so unless that's what they were looking at down here. I wonder if they are trying to relocate their pack members. I remember wild dog are one of the most successful hunters here in Africa. Somewhere around 80% of their attempted hunts end in a kill. Looks like they might be going down to Treehouse. We might be lucky enough to see them drinking. There's the other one who's coming back here. It's just in the bushes here. Okay, we're going to move around again. We'll come back onto the road. It'd be great if they do go down to the dam. We might actually settle so we can see them. Oh, this is amazing, everybody. This really is amazing. Their direction of carrying on along the other dogs about just behind us. I'm going to stay here. Can you see the other dog there? No, that's too far.
Let's go there.
See, they're both marking territory there. Okay, I'm gonna move.
Okay.
I'm gonna move. They come out onto the road here in front of us. Now an alpha pair will actually mark territory a lot more than the rest of the pack, and I do wonder if this is the alpha pair. You've got the male behind the female. You see the male's much larger compared to the female. And they will mark the territory with feces as well as urine. You just got a fright from the Franklin. I think one of the Franklins must have flown up.
Yeah, you want to go?
Yeah, we'll go. See if we can keep up with them. Now the pack of 4 do den in the west towards, I think, Simbambili, and I do wonder if this is part of the pack of 4. And they have got a den with pups, so with any luck, if they moving around in this area, you never know, we might be seeing them a lot more in the next couple of months. And obviously they can cover a lot more distance if they move at a trot rather than a walk. As I say, they do certainly seem to be on a mission. Moving along Fillerman's cut line. Male seems to be very skittish about things. Any movement from a bird, anything flying up, he's the first to react. There's a zebra up ahead. Got a bit of a stand-up going here with the zebra.
Bad.
Oh, that is awesome.
6 meters out.
Not every day you get to see that. Okay, we're going to move on again. The rest of the zebra herd are actually in bush there. The zebra's actually chasing off the wild dog. Again, they don't seem to be too interested in making an attempt on invincible. That's why you got a bit of a standoff there. And they will run down their prey. They'll continually chase after them, exhaust them just like wolves do. See, patience pays off. They're in the north. They've been in the north for a couple of days. Thanks, eh? Cheers. Now on Zoe's Road, following wild dog. If anyone's just tuned in, we are following the wild dogs still. If you haven't had a chance to see them, I'm hoping we're going to stay with them. I'm hoping they're not going to run a ride over onto the southern side.
anything down for the other channel, anything to get?
Henry, come in.
And done?
Was there anyone else interested in the Madaj?
There was no one coming to book at the Madaj. I was just holding it for that other
Go up there.
I think they book at them yesterday morning and afternoon.
Morning.
With many of them. I think that one is part of them.
Copy. How many are in the pack?
There's 21.
Copy, thank you. Henry's saying that they're actually from the pack of 21. Oh, this is fantastic. Look at this. Sure. Here comes the male. So he seems to be a little bit more wary than the female. Running right past the vehicles. If Sebastian could do a celebratory dance, I think he would be by now. If I could actually turn the camera onto him. Good morning. Sure. That is the closest I've ever been to wild dog. We're about a meter. I know. Meter away from the vehicle. Oh, the male and female running right down the side. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I really hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm sure you are. Hi Ursula, welcome on board this morning. Wanting to know, will they kill large prey or small prey? And Ursula, they can go for quite large prey. I mean, they would be able to pull down a zebra if there was a few more of them. And as I say, they run in a relay. I say it's a relay, but it's a bit of a misuse of the word. Here they go, they're crossing over onto the south. And they will chase the animal. And if the animal cuts a corner, then the next pack member will actually cut that corner and be the front leader, front runner. And then if the animal cuts a corner again, you get the next dog taking over to be the front runner, keeping up with the animal. And obviously that's how they can run the animal down. The front runner will keep up with that animal, say, until it actually does cut a corner. And once that front runner is overtaken by another of the pack, they'll then drop behind, obviously regain their strength. Okay, we do have another vehicle in the sighting now. Come back. Unfortunately, there are 4 vehicles. We have had a good view of them, and just so that we don't put too much pressure on them. So just so we don't put too much pressure on them, we're only allowed 3 vehicles in a sighting. I think another vehicle came from another property. Cedric, are you wanting to stay with them or Dutch?
Sorry, I got full.
Cedric come in?
Can we go?
Are you not wanting to stay with them at Dutch? I can pull out instead if you want. Yeah, affirmative. If you want to stay with them, I can pull out instead.
Right, I think Jono wants to make his way there anyway. So I'm going to be pulling up Jono. I think you can make your way to this one. You can be next to this.
Copy. Yeah, I'll pull out then and make space for you. Okay, there is another vehicle coming, unfortunately, as I say. When wild dogs do appear, obviously everybody is very interested in them. So, unfortunately, we'll have to make space for them, but I'm going to try and see if I can stay relatively close, and if there is a possibility of seeing them again, then I'll definitely try. Actually, we might be lucky.
What is it? What is Apple Finder? We're just talking about the other day that Burak comes inside, but we had it. I don't think that's that. So then I must get
There we go. I'm actually amazed at how much time we were able to spend with them. Absolutely fantastic. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. As I say, I'll see if there is another space again. If they do stay, it looks like they're going to continue down on the southern boundary here on Gary, Maine. So I'll just keep my ear to the ground on the radio and see if we can get back in there and have another look at them, especially if there's anybody that's just tuned in and just missed the wild dogs. Absolutely fantastic. What a wonderful way to start the morning drive. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So Ursula, as I say, they can pull down much larger prey, and the way that they're able to do that is because they do live in packs, and they are able to have the numbers to overpower an animal, just like the lions are capable of pulling down the buffalo. They work as a team, and that's one of the advantages of obviously living in a family or living in a pack or a pride, is to be able to have the power to overpower much larger animals than themselves. But obviously the dogs don't use their claws. Just like your pet dog at home, the claws are continually out, so they don't have the curved claws like a cat, so they can't really grab onto the prey like a cat can or like a lion can. So that's why they have to exhaust the animal to the point where they can then, as I say, overpower it. And one dog will bite the nose, another dog might hold the tail to anchor the animal, and then they'll start to bite at the animal. And it's not really a nice way for the animal to go. As I say, they will literally start ripping it apart, and obviously it goes into the shock. so it probably won't be able to feel too much. But say with the cats, obviously they'll suffocate them before they start eating usually. And a pack of 21, they're going to need a lot of food. And they're one of the animals that will hunt very, very regularly. You see cats, they can hunt, and if they get a large enough kill, that will last them for maybe 5 to 6 days sometimes. With the dogs being in large groups, you may even need to hunt every day, if not every other day, but much more regularly. Standing by? How you doing yourself?
How many people have you got through?
Sorry, send again? Send again, I didn't copy. Stations, just an update, pulled out of the Tuma Dutch, 3 movers currently covering in an easterly direction along Gowrie Main. The lock's over on Channel 3 now.
The Irish Morris.
Standing by.
How many other pieces have you got?
2.
Oh, groovy, enjoy, honey.
Thank you so much. Pulled out the lock now though.
You got it.
Very much so. Vivian, welcome on board this morning, wanting to know how big the dogs are relative to a German Shepherd. I'd say probably about just a little bit smaller than a German Shepherd. If I can actually, can you maybe show the ground? I'll stand here. So basically where I am, the dogs will probably come up to about here on me. So probably just a little bit smaller than German Shepherd. But weight-wise, I'm just trying to think. It's been a long time since I've had a look at the weight of a wild dog. Maybe someone can maybe look it up for me and just check the average weight of a wild dog. But yeah, wow. But here at Treehouse Dam, I was hoping to see any sign, activity of the resident hippo that's been here. But if you have a look, before I went on leave, there was a lot of algae here, and it's all pushed back. There's only a little bit on the back corner there, so with the movement of the hippo, I think it has helped to disperse the algae and stop it taking over the dam. $20 to 36 kilos for a wild dog. It's funny, you think by the size of them they should be much heavier. And it's even more astounding. That was 50 to 60 pounds. And I think that was so their head to tail 1.1 meters. So that's your dimensions, Vivian, for the wild dog. Just to the beginning of the tail. So from the nose, so it'll be from the nose to the nose to the beginning of the tail. And tail is roughly 30 to 40 centimeters. And that was all from Mark. So nice and calm after all the excitement of the wild dogs. It'd be nice to actually at some stage see if we can pick up some spoor. But I didn't want to stop and take pictures of spoor when we had the dogs there. We'll see if we can maybe catch up with the rhino again. As we pushed him to one side. As I say, I don't like doing that. But yeah, to see those wild dogs, you don't see them every day. Well, you don't see rhino every day, but you see them a little bit more regularly than the wild dog. And it just goes to show, with this being live, we don't know what's going to happen. It could be anything just around the next corner. You just really don't know what's going to happen. And that is the beauty of it. If you stay with us, you're able to see some wonderful, wonderful sightings. And it also hopefully shows you how much time and effort gets put into making documentaries. The documentaries, people go out and film what they can find, and they don't always find the animals. They take them quite a while to find the animals to begin with, and then to start filming, the animal doesn't necessarily do behaviour that they want. Quite often they'll go out and film for maybe 2 or 3 years sometimes, and then when all the footage is ready they can put it together and then make maybe half-an-hour documentary. Okay. Hi Dale, welcome on board this morning. Dale from Canada. Dale wanting to know, do lactating females share responsibility? Just pick up this, oh, we've got a Nyala bull just here. Just move around the corner here. Beautiful Nyala bull here. And Dale wanting to know, will the lactating females share responsibility of allo suckling the pups, basically? And they do, Dale. I'd say the ones that don't are the hyenas. The hyenas are solely, even if they do live as a family, but they won't allow other pups to suckle from anyone else but their own mother. And they will actually get pushed away if they do try to suckle from another mother. But obviously with lions as well, they will share responsibility. Meerkats, they will also. And as I say, it's just known as allo suckling. And the females will share that responsibility because they are related to many of the pups, and obviously that's how a pack will grow. So you have the alpha male and female, and most of the pups will be related. So if there is sisters and they produce milk, then it's in their interest to actually help their siblings and make the pack stronger. And obviously the more pack, or more members of the pack, the much larger prey that they can bring down. Females just on the left here. I'm just going to pull forward to, if there's anyone that hasn't seen the difference between a male and female Nyala, you can actually see it. They're twice the size of the females. Actually, a youngster here as well. I'm hoping she's going to follow where the male went. Oh, a little bit more. There we go. And here comes the bull, bounding across the road there. I wonder if he thought the females were behind him and then turned around and saw that they weren't. So it's two females with the offspring. Here's the wild dogs behind us, that's why.
Oh, yeah, there they are.
Wow. Just as I was actually looking at those females, I noticed there was the impala stood just behind them. And the impala were looking, and that's what just made me turn around. All the impala just had their heads up and looking. Let's see if we can actually turn around.
Maybe they're not the same wild dogs.
Maybe.
They're not very close.
But I definitely saw two of them again. You see where they went? Straight up.
That's why the male Nyala.
Yeah, that's why the male Nyala ran across the road. So I thought it was because of me, because I actually hid the females from the view. I thought that was a bit odd. I've not seen Nyala do that before. As I say, I just happened to turn around and notice the impala in the bush with the heads up. So oh, there they are. They're actually chasing the impala now. The stations, got the Tuma Dutch again on Weaver's Nest Road. Bambring North. Wow. It looks like they are actually chasing the impalas. They are going after the impala. One just scooted off to the left. I'm getting there, I'm getting there. There's the male. Yeah. Straight ahead. You have to point me in the right direction. Somewhere over here. You still see them?
Yes.
Oh yeah, got them. Okay, duck. I think off. Yeah, moving back to the road. Got a vulture following. There's a white-backed vulture. Going back to quarantine again. See, the vulture knows that there's something going down. Oh, come on, Gunda, don't play. All the impalas scattered. Back out onto the road. Sorry about the bumpy ride, everyone. Hope you're holding on. Here's some brown-headed parrots off into the trees on the right. Wow, how lucky is that? The station's Eastman Dutch, Bambring North towards quarantine now. And it sounds like we might just have this sighting now to ourselves, which is awesome. Everybody is disappeared. I wonder actually, I think this pack of 21 is actually from the north, if I can remember rightly. I think they are actually from... No, these two are the same ones, definitely. Yeah. These two are the same ones. But I do wonder if that's why there's no animals around quarantine. So I was thinking this is very odd. You usually see something. And when I've seen no animals here, then we have had bad weather, and I thought, well, maybe it's that. Maybe we're going to have some bad weather. maybe it's because the wild dogs were around. But we did actually do a loop around Quarantine before we started. And we didn't see anything. I just saw some hyena tracks just off into the northern side. I think when Henry got them, they did come down from the north. Again, just keeping some distance, just so not putting pressure on them. They're going at their own speed. If anybody's just joining us, if you can see the two wild dogs just on the top of the screen here. My name's Tara, I'm your guide this morning on this wonderful, wonderful morning here at Jumeirah Game Reserve on our live safari. Sebastian trying to get some wonderful shots of the wild dogs for you on the camera behind me. And Mark in final control. Out onto the road again. And if you do have any questions, send them through to final control at safari.tv. Try and get them crossing the road. Hi Beverly, off on board this morning, and was just asking if we have any wild pigs. We have bush pig, which looks a bit like a wild boar. It's slightly reddish brown colour, silver mane down his back. Slightly different to a warthog. The warthog sort of looks like it's concave back, whereas the bush pig has got convex back. I think there are through here. So it's getting quite thick where we were out into. It's really quite difficult picking up at them in there. Up onto the top of the road. Wow. I've got a little bit of a bump in the way. I can't see them. Oh, there we go. Wow. And if anybody did miss, these two dogs are from the pack of 21 apparently. So there is a pack in the west. Some people say there's a pack, it's a pack of 4, but I have also heard it's a pack of 6. So I'll have to see if we can actually find out for sure how many packs there are in the area. It sounded like it was just the 2. And what's quite interesting, there's actually been some research done on the wild dog, and lower ranking members of the pack will beg for food, and the adults will regurgitate food for them. And it seems to be that's actually a better place to be, is at the bottom of the pack, because they actually will regurgitate the food. And there's actually quite a lot of research going into that behaviour. And obviously, with that, if they do regurgitate the food, you don't need to. Whereas Sebastian was just saying, oh, there's some impala here to the right of us, and they've just run straight past them. And yet, it looked like they were actually chasing after one of the impalas earlier. The benefit being the lower ranking individuals and to have the adults regurgitate for you, and obviously it's saving energy. It's beautiful. Looks like they're marking the territory again. Go into the bush. It looks like they're probably going to head towards the Buffalo's Hook boundary. So this is just going to be a little bit too thick to try and keep up with them. You saw you can't get much fresher than that. I do wonder if they have just eaten fairly recently, because dung does tend to be quite runny straight after a meal. Let's say gone. The speed that they're moving at, it's very difficult to keep up with them in this thick bush here. But what we're going to do, I'll drive up towards Gallego shortcut and just see if Buffalo's Hook cut line, and see if we can actually pick them up again. If there's any viewers who haven't had a chance to see them. We don't know if when the next time we're going to be seeing wild dog. Might as well take advantage of them being here while they are here. As I say, you can see how much ground in the last hour that they have covered. We've caught up with them at quarantine, moved all the way down Philemon's cut line, onto Zoe's Road, onto Gowrie Main. From Gowrie Main they must have just come straight up Weaver's Nest Road, back up towards quarantine, and now heading up towards Buffalo's Hook. And they will also take food back to the den for the pups and regurgitate it. And obviously the advantage of that, they can leave the pups and go off and hunt. There's no way the pups will be able to keep up with adults when they're hunting. They can cover kilometres. We're basically moving at the same rate as what they were, so I'm hoping that we're going to time it right when we do come out That's if they haven't deviated us. So they seem to be moving pretty in a straight line. So pretty much on a mission. So if they have changed the direction, obviously we will be slightly off. Lap around, maybe come down to Lego shortcuts. I'm just looking to see if there's any tracks that have crossed over. And the difference with the hyena tracks with the wild dog, remember the hyenas have a very heavy front and a very small, much lower back. So they don't need to carry as much weight on the back legs as they do on the front legs. So there's a very big size difference between the front and back spoor. Whereas with the dogs, it's not really as distinct. Most animals do have a larger front foot than the back foot. And so it's not as distinctive. And they do also have the 2 lobes in the back pad. The true cats have 3 lobes in the back part of the pad. So just check your dog spoor. If you've got a pet dog at home and have a look. In the back pad you have the 2 lobes. And that's what you look for in the dog track. And also the nails will show. Whereas on the cats you won't have any claw marks. Hi Darlene, welcome on board this morning. I'm wanting to know what the top speed of a wild dog is. I'm actually not 100% sure, Darlene. I would probably guesstimate it around 50, maybe 40, 50 kilometers, but maybe someone can look that up for us. Mark's also saying when they start a hunt, it's usually about 40, 50 k's, but they can do speeds or bursts of up to 60. I say maybe someone can actually check out and see if there is a measured or a clocked speed for us. I'm just driving a little bit down Gallego shortcut here. I do wonder if they have deviated off. I don't see any tracks crossing that way. Again. Hi Glynis, welcome on board again. Great to have you with us. I'm from Cape Town. Hope you're having nice weather down there. I'm just wanting to know, are they part of a larger pack? Where would the pack be? And would they set up residence here in Djuma? As far as I understand, they a pack of 21, and I believe they have a den further north. I'm not entirely sure where. I think I've heard it's possibly in the Manuletti, maybe in the northern side of Buffelshoek, but I'll see if I can actually find out for sure. So the other pack that I do know of is got a den in Zimbabwe, and that's the smaller pack. And I say it's either a pack of 4 or 6 on that side. But the rest of the pack might be out looking for food, or they could be back at the den with pups. I say it's I'm trying to understand what because it looks like it could be the alpha male and female. Let's say marking the territory. You can see both of them doing it. But they have a much larger home range. Much larger home range. Remember, territory is quite a small area compared to a home range. Home ranges aren't defended. And as I say, I mean, the wild dogs, to actually, if you've got a private game reserve, you're not allowed to have wild dog unless you have 24,000 hectares. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much space they need. As I say, they will go hunting. As I say, the territory is not really that large, and so that's why I'm getting a little bit confused, because they definitely look like they were marking territory down here. Their den is further in the north. I wonder why they are all the way down here. So as I said, this is more likely part of their home range rather than their territory. But I wonder if they are checking out the area maybe to make a den down here. As I say, it's the first time I've actually seen wild dog moving around like this. Not had much experience with wild dog. I've only ever seen them twice before on a game reserve and they were sleeping. So I think I'm definitely going to have to look more into the behaviour side of it. I certainly want to keep a close watch on it, and obviously those two sites where we did see them defecating and urinating. We'll have to obviously keep an eye out and see if they do come back around those areas. I'm not seeing anything in here, so I wonder if they did change their direction again. Or maybe they found what they were looking for. Or as I say, maybe they've even, dare I say it, set up residence in this block here. There's a lot of questions to really answer. And at the moment I don't have any of the answers. As I say, they didn't really make much of an effort. I mean, they passed plenty of antelope, they passed zebra, and they didn't really make an attempt. There was that one on Weaver's Nest Road where they had the impala, and they did actually chase one of the impala, but even then it didn't really look like much of an attempt. So I do wonder if they are scouting out the area. That would be awesome. Hi Joe, thanks for looking up for us. Joe is saying average speed is about 45 kilometers. I wonder if you could maybe have a look and see what the top speed is as well for us. But Joe also wanting to know if there'll be a problem to the hyenas in the area. And Joe, I think there's enough space really for them not to worry. As I say, the number of predators in an area does get naturally balanced, and obviously they will be going for different prey to the hyena. I mean, the hyena won't really be pulling down the larger prey items that the wild dogs will be able to. There isn't anything coming out track-wise. If they did set up residence here, I'd say it'd be quite interesting to see it. They've got some impala running. So I do wonder if they've come out, maybe they've deviated this side. Where did they run from? say, it's very difficult to say for sure what would happen if they did set up residence here, what would happen to the hyenas. It could even be that the hyenas, it won't even affect them. Say, because of the difference in the prey items, the hyenas will scavenge as well. I doubt they'll be able to really benefit from wild dog kills, so they tend to eat and strip everything bare, especially if Pack 21. They might be able to get a few scraps from them. You never know, it might actually enhance them. As I say, wild dogs do cover quite a large area looking for food, so they will encounter hyenas wherever they are, even up in the north. They will have hyenas up there. As I say, nature has this wonderful way of balancing things out. And that's why every animal has its niche, has a role to play. And each one of those roles is slightly different. And depending on what else is in that area, the role of that animal may vary slightly. So if you take, say, a hyena from one area and a hyena from another area, depending on what's there with it, it may make a difference to its feeding habits. So if there's a lot of cats in the area, lions and leopards, then it may have a greater opportunity to scavenge. Or an area where, for some reason, there's a high mortality rate of animals, then again, it's going to be able to scavenge a lot more. But if there's an area where maybe there's a lot of vultures who are also competing for carcasses, and there's not a high mortality rate, maybe there's not too many cats around, then those hyenas are going to be forced to actually hunt for themselves. And that's why we have, in scientific terms, two niches of an animal. So you have a fundamental niche, which is if there's nothing affecting the animal, then that is the role that it would play. So it's the largest role, if you like the possible food sources that it can eat, possible habitats it can live in, all those sorts of things, and that's making up its fundamental niche. And then you have what we call a realized niche, and that is what the animal, the actual role it plays in the particular area it lives in. So it could be that it's restricted to certain foods because other food sources aren't there. Could be, sorry? Oh, there's a buffalo up there. Come have a look at the buffalo. So the realized niche is trying to concentrate on not throwing Sebastian off the back here as we go up the steep bank. So as I say, the realised niche is where the animal lives, and as I say, there may be reasons for them not being able to eat certain animals or certain plants, either because they're not there or the other animals that live in the area outcompete it for those particular resources.
start on
Actually, it's quite nice to have the cameraman so much higher up, because I can put a tracker, but just sitting at the back rather than the front. There's actually about a metre difference between the height of myself and where Sebastian's sitting, so that's why he's had the advantage to look over my head and actually see what's going on. And obviously this morning it's been really helpful. You've got eyes like a hawk this morning. Nice big herd of buffalo. Hi Bernice, welcome on board this morning, and asking a question that I've also been thinking myself. Could it be a lower ranking female and a rogue male going off to find or to start a pack herself? And I do wonder if that could be the case. Because obviously if you're in a large pack, the disadvantage to that is obviously you have to continually find food. And it may be that if the pack isn't being as successful, then obviously too many mouths to feed can work against you as well. And as I say, Bernice, I do wonder, maybe that could be a possibility. Could be a possibility. Beautiful big herd of buffalo. They're all scattered. There's some on this side, some on that side. And I do wonder if they're going to head down towards Gary Dam. Do you know what? I'm actually going to see if we can go around the other side, because if they do move, I'll have a look at these guys while they're out. If they do move, it'd be quite nice to sit on that side of them. Stations, Shlamir Vinyati, Officer Pipeline, close to close to Ndugu Road. Not really going to be completely level with them. You can hear the oxpeckers calling. I'll just let the herd get used to us being here. You can see they're all looking at us. And there was one individual that moved away, so I'll just let them get used to us being here, and then they'll allow us to get a little bit closer, I think. And it's the same principle for all animals. If you try and get too close too quickly, you're going to upset that animal, regardless of whether you know it or not. Sometimes, just like humans, they have bad days where they really are not in the mood for company, and some days they don't mind. It's actually watching and assessing their behaviour to see what mood they're in. As I say, that's why sometimes, even with the leopards that we know, we'll just hang back a little bit, maybe keep a respectful distance to begin with. Make sure that they're okay with us being there, make sure that we're not going to disturb them. And quite often, once you're there for a little while, you become part of the surrounding, the surrounding, and they're more likely to let you get a bit closer. We've actually got two buffalo sparring a little bit here to our right now. They've stopped looking at us and they're continuing what they were doing. And that's exactly what I'm saying is that they will just continue on as normal once they've decided actually you're not a threat, you're not a problem. Especially with animals that may not see vehicles regularly, or they may have had a bad experience with vehicles. As I say, if you're there and you're not doing anything and you're keeping a respectful distance, then eventually they may let you a bit closer so you can actually see them a little bit better. It's quite funny, there's two individuals who are still looking just in front of us here. You can see the rest of the herd, they've turned their backs on us, starting to move away. Let's say the two bulls there were sparring. So it just goes to show different individuals have different tolerance levels. Again, just like humans. And now they've decided, actually, you're alright. It does look like they are moving in a general direction that way. So I think we will see if we can drive around the other side and be on that side of the herd and hopefully have them crossing in front of us, which would be awesome. We're still keeping a lookout behind us, see if the wild dog are going to make another appearance. Wanting to go up there. Again, some of you might be wondering why I'm not just going to drive in and around. Sorry, Sebastian. And again, it's if there's a road close by, we might as well take the road rather than damaging the bush. We will off-road for certain things where we deem it's possible. We can go in and maybe follow a leopard, follow a rhino. But also, if you damage the bush too much, you're going to damage it for the animals. You can drive over plants, and if you just drive off for